Hey everybody, Enchantress here, master weaver of mystery suspense thrillers, screenplays, and broadcaster of astrology. Sorry about that. Anyway, forget it. Let's get into the Saturday astrology. I know I'm a mess. I had a hood on. I've been working out. It just is what it is. Anyway, the sun will be at 18 degrees of Aquarius on Saturday. Actually, from Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time up until Saturday at 1:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be at 18 degrees of Aquarius. This pertains to friends, goals, and social groups, and it affects placements in any sign between 15 and 21 degrees. Under these energies, one can be more unorthodox, unusual, resourceful, imaginative, and a bit reckless. Success can be had as it pertains to finance, travel, and careers that involve bodies of water or transport over bodies of water, oceans, things like that, lakes, whatever the case may be. Just be sure that you're organized and prepared for whatever goal you're trying to accomplish. And with a little assistance, you can see, some of those goals unexpectedly succeed. It looks really good for placements between 15 and 21 degrees of Libra, Gemini, Sagittarius, and Aries. And you can check my astrology at author E-Ray Taronic on Saturday morning when I post all this up. Let's see. Let's move along to a 2-hour transit. That's going to start at 6:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is when the moon in Libra at 26 degrees will be trining Venus in Aquarius. And this ushers in a blessing where you have placements between 23 and 29 degrees of Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. This pertains to romance, finances, and pleasure pursuits. These are harmonious energies that bring opportunities for joy, relaxation, social interaction, creativity, inspiration, self-care, and even artistic projects can go well. Under these energies, one can be more simple and methodical, kind, sociable, and simple. One may devote their responsibilities, maybe devoted to their responsibilities, and still make time for other people that require some type of assistance. These are comfortable and peaceful energies. Blessings and good health can be enjoyed. Success can come in as it pertains to real estate, trade, and industrial companies. Wealth can come in too. Here, one does not show off, and they enjoy a happy family, and they're surrounded by loyal and grateful people. Okay. Now, moving along to another transit, which will be a multi-day transit. Okay. This is where the North Node at 9 degrees of Pisces will be squaring Lilith retrograde in Sagittarius for about 4 or 5 days. So up until next Tuesday, this notes a challenge or effort being required in order to obtain a higher goal that you're trying to accomplish. Where you have placements between 6 and 12 degrees of Sagittarius, Pisces, Gemini, and Virgo in your chart is where you'll have to put in the work. This can mean that you're utilizing your education, your skills, you're expressing what you think, you're practicing what you preach, or you can be required to travel as well. Not everyone will know what you're up to because this could be going on behind the scenes or it could be a secret. Some are required to actually work in their solitude for this or make a sacrifice to get it, sacrifice something else to get what this is. It's a time to stand in your power and embrace what others have told you to hide or what you can't have. This sees your authentic power and autonomy coming to the surface within these next 4 days. You make your own choices and you'll prove that during this transit. Under these energies, you could be fiery, discerning, independent, pleasant, clever, flexible, intellectual, curious, and good at copying or imitating others or things. Success and recognition can be achieved in careers where you initiate objectives. Religion, law, and literature are also favored. Here, an injustice is fought and overcome, and it's wise to consider other people's standpoints because being open-minded can be a great asset for you to gain success, recognition, or money. Because these energies favor copying or imitation, stay away from faking products or forging or counterfeit money or making counterfeit money or using counterfeit money, things like that, because you could get into big trouble, okay? Now, moving along to a 2-hour transit on Saturday. By 8:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the moon in Libra at 27 degrees will be making a fated yet karmic aspect to Uranus and Taurus. This can be a sudden, unique challenge or situation surfacing where you have placements between 24 and 29 degrees of Libra and Taurus. This can deal with your wealth, your worth, or your resources as it pertains to a relationship or a partnership. And under these energies, one can be more submissive, ambitious, conceited. They can believe in the inevitable in a negative sense. They might feel like following the beaten path and setting their goals aside, their goals and aspirations aside. They may decide to like handle the family business or do as family members wish, as opposed to abiding by their own wishes. Artistic activities and endeavors can provide some type of peace, balance, and excitement, though, during this 2-hour transit. For some people, you may unexpectedly be tasked to get active, which can spark your ambition. If you're receiving help, a gift, protection, or someone's kindness, don't take it for granted, okay? A partnership can see you suddenly being qualified for things that you previously weren't privy to, okay? Now, moving along to the next transit is a 1 hour and 55-minute transit, and it's happening at around 12:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when it's starting. This is when the moon in Libra at 29 degrees will be making a fated yet karmic aspect to Saturn in Pisces. And this can be a unique challenge or a situation surfacing where you are dealing with some type of restriction or responsibility, that's being placed on you. And it's affecting you where you have placements between 24 and 29 degrees of Libra and Pisces. This can be going on behind the scenes. It could require a sacrifice, require you to be in your solitude, or it could be a secret, but relationships and partnerships do feature. Under these energies, you could be more reckless, or you or someone else can be more reckless, lazy, carefree, and lack discernment. Beware of feeling secure around people that you shouldn't feel secure around. Utilize your intuition, because some people merely mean to give you bad advice because they're led by their own greed, jealousy, or self-interest, okay? So that bad advice could bring you some type of misfortune. So do know that during that hour and 55 minutes, starting at 12:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday, any advice anybody gives you, analyze the heck out of it and analyze them as well. Here, one may hide their mediocrity under ego and haughtiness, so beware of that. They might pretend to be like other people, plagiarize other people's work or characteristics, act like other people, destiny swapping type behavior, If one utilizes their own morals, though, and their intellect and character, they'll be dedicated to higher vibrational goals, and they can avoid, those lesser characteristics. Avoid being arrogant and hateful, because you can find yourself being alienated by others, or you're alienating people, like people you could be pushing others away. Now, do know that appearances can be misleading under that 2-hour transit. So some people will push other people away because they feel inferior themselves. Now, by 1:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the sun will shift to Aquarius at 19 degrees until around Sunday at that time. This pertains to friends, goals, and social groups. Okay, so this is a 24-hour transit. This affects placements in any sign between 16 and 22 degrees. And under these energies, one can be hardworking, withdrawn, and selfless. Now, you won't be withdrawn if you have placements between 16 and 22 degrees of Gemini, Libra, Sagittarius, and Aries. People that have been withdrawn from you will suddenly not be withdrawn, or you could come out because those are more favorable angles. So you'll get the favorable end of it, okay? Or if you are withdrawn, it's because you're working on some type of blessing that you're getting, or opportunity that you have before you. After struggles, you can achieve wealth and independence. You can see yourself achieving wealth and independence during that 24 hours. If what you do benefits the collective good, you can see yourself being put in a high position. You may readily lend a helping hand to someone else or provide them essential assistance. And you may have some type of duties change or professional changes. But whatever those changes are, it's creating some type of longevity, security, or success for yourself. Check my astrology at author E. Ray Taronic on Facebook, the written astrology, to see exactly how it's affecting each and every sign, okay? Whether it's a blessing, whether it's a challenge, whether you got to put in work or whatever, check and it'll let you know. Now, by 2:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, this is a 1 hour and 55-minute transit, another basically 2-hour transit. The moon in Scorpio at 0 degree will be making a fated yet karmic aspect to Neptune in Aries. This can be a unique challenge or situation surfacing as it pertains to shared finances, endings, new beginnings, passions, sex, in regards to some sort of dream, wish, fantasy, or delusion. Where you have placements between 0 and 3 degrees of Scorpio and Aries, you're affected by these energies. Now, under these energies, one can be more foolish, combative, inflexible, uncompromising, aggressive, tough, and passionate. You might get into conflict, so avoid these negative characteristics if you don't want to get into conflicts. If you utilize your instincts and courage, you can obtain a position of authority. Here, you might be preparing yourself to overcome a struggle, so utilize your intelligence and strength as well. You can protect your rights and assets from some sort of loss that might be at hand during this 2-hour transit. Avoid allowing temptations, vices, addictions, or anything like that to get in the way. One can also be seduced under this transit, so be mindful of that. Now, another 2-hour transit I want to talk about starts at 4:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when the moon in Scorpio at 1 degree will be trining Mercury in Pisces. This will usher in a blessing regarding communication or your skills. Where you have placements between 0 and 4 degrees of Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer, you're privy to this blessing, okay? It can pertain to shared finances, endings, new beginnings, passions, or even sex. This is a harmonious aspect between your emotions and your intellect, and it ushers in excellent communication, quick thinking, and a nurturing, fair demeanor. Under these energies, one can be generous, ambitious, tolerant, carefree, intelligent, and self-confident. Setting aside laziness and selfishness can be a boon, under these energies. Long travels, politics, and exoticism can bring about success and prosperity. Great fulfillment can be had within the arts. Just don't leave things to chance because a good opportunity might come your way. And if you have the opportunity to gain an opportunity or a blessing, communicate, be more active, take advantage of what's afforded to you. And you can overcome some sort of disappointment or issue. The last transit I want to talk about is a 2-hour transit. By 8:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the moon in Scorpio at 3 degrees will be squaring Pluto in Aquarius. This notes a challenge or effort required where you have placements between 0 and 6 degrees of Scorpio, Aquarius, Taurus, and Leo. This transformation will require some type of effort, and it impacts your friends, your goals, your social groups, shared finances, endings, new beginnings, sex, and passions. Okay? This can indicate some type of emotional, psychological, or relationship power struggles or power dynamics. So be mindful of that. People can be self-protective or act compulsively. They can be controlling or volatile or be giving people ultimatums like, oh, it's all or nothing type of deal. So just be mindful of not being like that, because it's one thing to control yourself, but you can't control other people, okay? Unless it's your adolescent child. Under these energies, one can be tasked to be more calm, be more generous, be more caring, more dependable, and more fair-minded. They could be working on that. One may be required to utilize their artistic talents, but if you do, it favors the arts, music, poetry, dance, painting, film, things of that nature. Success and expanded recognition can be had. One might inherit a high social position. It could be earned through their personal merits as well. Whatever it is, it's not earned without effort. They have earned what it is they're receiving here. Careers in politics, diplomacy, finance, and or transportation are favored. And for some, exceptional honors and financial success can be had. Now, some will acquire this illegally or dishonestly, though, like money laundering, embezzlement, or forgery. But like I said, be mindful of that within the next 4 or 5 days, because you could get yourself into big trouble, okay? Thanks for sticking around for the daily astrological update. Check my page at author E. Ray Taronic on Facebook to see the written astrology on Saturday morning. Bye now.